Greetings to all joining us for this pre-recorded show, which we record early doors on a Thursday morning for the Friday meeting, which takes place at Fairview. We are racing on the turf track, Friday, the 3rd of November. Great to have Grant Paddock on the line, the resident expert. Firstly, Grant, as we always say, how are you doing? And secondly, what is the weather doing in your side of the world?
Morning, Sheldon. Morning, punters. Yeah, weather's been top class this week. I cannot complain. Going to be racing on the grass tomorrow, probably Sunday as well. I'm sure the horses and the trainers will be very happy to be back on that surface. So it looks good for a great day's racing this weekend. It's our big meeting, and hopefully some of the local punters and racegoers can get out to the course and have a look at some quality individuals.
Race number 1 is due off at 12:45. It'll be the opening leg of the bipot, and it's run over a trip of 1,600 meters. Taking a look at the anti-post betting, number 4, Master of All Storms, is the current favourite at around 18-10, and then number 1, Hawk Circle from the Mitchley stable is 22-10, 7-1 bar those runners. Grant, let's touch with number 1, Hawk Circle. You're obviously closely related to the stable there. How is Hawk Circle doing?
Doing very well, Sheldon, doing very well. Obviously, the unknown is the Cape Town horse. He's only had 3 runs and he's coming back. He's coming to Port Elizabeth the first time over a bit of a trip. He ran a decent race, even though at 50-1. But it was a good run to Lord Firefield. Definitely the horse to beat. Hawk Circle doing very well. I'm expecting one of the two to win the race. I don't see anything past that. It's probably the exacta bet of the day. You're not going to get rich though, unfortunately. Any kind of dangers could come from the 9 Hatful of Cherries. Dumasani is an improver, and US Open can get back to his best form as well. But the winner will come from 1 and 4, there's no doubt.
That'll take us on to race number 2, which will be the opening leg of the Place Accumulator. And your suggested bet at the end of the show will go through, and you've suggested a few win bets on the day. And number 5, which is Climate Control, who is currently at 18-10. You quietly confident this Son of Ideal World will come through after running second to Euphoric?
100%, Sheldon. Smart horse. Very unlucky on the poly last time out. Finished in 22.6. I think at the 400 he was 8.5 lengths behind him. He got beaten a quarter length. Long straight Fairview grass. Massive runner. Big danger, obviously, Red William. He's running on top of each other, which is a negative. He ran in at 2,200 Pinnacle 7 days ago and now back down to a mile on grass. He's a solid front runner, but there's a couple that are going to go up handy there, so he could be caught out in a throat-cutting episode, and that will fall into the hands of Climate Control. Very strong on Climate Control, making one of my win bets of the day. Back up Red William, and then for larger players, the 11 and the 8. But I really like Climate Control strong.
Safe to say number 8, Euphoric. As you can see by his record, he's a poly specialist, so Climate Control, he'll certainly turn that form around.
Yeah, 100% Euphoric, much better on the poly.
Let's step on the gas to race number 3, which is over 1,400 meters. This is the Hollywoodbets 78 handicap, due off at 13.55. And when you take a look at the anti-post betting, 11-10 about number 7, Unyielding. Now let me just have a look. There's no scratching. So from 18-10 down 11-10. And number 7, Unyielding, looking for the hat trick. And judged by the betting support, they really fancy this individual.
Yeah, 100% Sheldon. 18-10 was extremely generous. I made her the best bets on the card. She's found the right kind of a race. She's really gone from strength to strength down here. Richard knows her very well now. Decent draw. Stables in hot form. Very, very hard filly to beat. The dangers here will be the Zispan horse Act Naturally, with a little bit of Chronicles of Narnia and Tried and True. But once again, very strong. Another one of my win multiple, Unyielding to take it.
That'll take us on to event number 4. So if you're going into race number 4 looking to have a bet, 14:30 will be the off time. The distance is 1,400 meters. And let's just take a look at the betting at the early time of recording. Race number 4 has number 8, Global Alley, at a price of 3-1. So that is your current favourite. It's then 4-1 about number 10. I'll leave that for you to pronounce. Number 9, Dawn of a New Era at 9-2. And then Alinga Longa, number 1, is 7-1. How are we going to structure race number 4, Grant?
Sheldon, I made this a 3-horse race, 8, 9, and 10. I can't see the winner coming from anything else. They're out of the similar form lines. I really was impressed the way Global Alley won. First time out here on the poly, he had no reason to win, and he came flying on by Dawn of a New Era late. I think the grass long straight will definitely suit him. He's definitely my first choice. Ajaf Jala Jockle will be my second choice. There's nothing between him and Dawn of a New Era. That will come down to luck in running. But 8, 9, and 10, I can't see anything else troubling the scorer.
Well, I'm most impressed the way you pronounced number 10, so you could be commentating one of these days soon, Grant.
Yeah, Sheldon, I wouldn't try that in a head bob, I must be honest with you.
Jokes aside, let's move on to race number 5, where number 3, Fiery Duke, is going to be your value bet on the card. And race number 5 is over the 1,200-meter trip. So being on the turf, it'll be down the straight. And let's just have a look. I remember Fiery Duke in KwaZulu-Natal, drawn out at 11. How's the draws working down the straight? Obviously, we haven't had a lot of racing on the turf there, but that 11 draw, are you concerned or it'll be perfect?
No concern. I had a look at the track probably a week ago, and the front straight was probably the best it's been in since I was training, and it's a good 2-3 years. I must be very honest with you. It looked magnificent. There won't be a bias at all. You can win from both sides of the track. 11 draw will be just as good as a 1 draw. I must be very honest with you, Sheldon. But getting back to the race, Coastal Path is my first choice. He's been holding solid form, a good run to Notorix and Triumph for the last 2 times. They were on poly. I think he's actually a better horse on grass, where he can be given a bit of a chance and run at them. Fiery Duke, place money definitely, and a horse that really enjoys track and trip is this horse Torero. Unfortunately, they lumbered a 7-year-old with 6 points last time out, and that probably just takes it back into Coastal Path's choice. So I'm going to go Coastal Path from Torero and Fiery Duke.
Next up will be event number 6. So as we go along, race number 6 is due off at 15:40. Hopefully you've had some win bets and caught a couple of quartets and the likes, and have some money to go into race number 6, which is over 1,000 meters, which means they're going to jump and they're going to go as fast as they can to get to that winning post. Now let's just refresh the betting for race number 6, where they have number 2, Summer Odyssey, currently trading at 22-10. Baubles and Beads, number 4, is trading at 6-1. And then we've got number 5, Pomodoro Magic, who shortened from 7-1 down 6-1, along with Grew of Ice. And then you can pretty much take your price about the rest of the field. I'm going to start off with number 4, Baubles and Beads. Now, just looking at this individual, very disappointing, because I know when she was with the Dennis Dreyer stable, they tried in a couple of the feature races and they really thought she was going to go through the divisions, but she hasn't quite fulfilled that promise, although she's been quite consistent of late.
Yeah, actually my first choice, Sheldon, I must be honest, she has been consistent, probably found the right kind of a race. I've brassed the favourite, yeah, I'll be very honest with you, I don't like Summer Odyssey. She ran 2 weeks ago, she's a small filly, carrying 61 kilos on the grass, not for me. I would have maybe preferred on the poly, but not for me. So I'm brassing Summer Odyssey. I do like a bit of Princess Debs. Pomodoro Magic will be running hard. If it was a 1,200, I would have been firmly in the camp of Pomodoro Magic. And then the bottom weights, Looking Hot and Grew of Ice could get a shout in. But I like Baubles and Beads. I think Lunga's found the right kind of a race for her. And I think she can win a race like this, there's no doubt.
That'll take us on to race number 7, where we have an odds-on favourite in the form of number 2, Zumi, from the Brett Crawford stable, who is currently priced up around 7 and 8-10. Number 3, Fairy Knight, 3-1, 6-1, Vision of Wonder. This is the Racehorse Owners Association Stakes for 3-year-olds, no allowances over the 1,600-metre trip. Number 2, Zumi, when you look at his form, There's no chinks in his arm and his form.
No, there's no chinks in his armour. Nice little horse. Been running to top horses. That run to Susui last time out, very good run. Run second to Underworld. Underworld come out and won a feature here the other day in Port Elizabeth. Very, very hard horse to beat. Fairy Knight is main danger. And obviously that horse Hat's Pride as an improver. He won a nice race here the other day, but at a lot lower level. The winner will come from 2 or 3. I'm strong in the camp of the 2. I think the 3 will follow him home with the 5 and just about anything after that. Probably the 1 Vision of Wonder, but I'm very strong on Zumi. He doesn't have, if he runs to his rating, he'll beat his field comfortably. He's a 101. His closest horse to him is a 93, and they're running at levels. Going to be very hard for the rest of the field to beat Zumi.
Well, there you heard from Grant Paddock, probably the best bet on the card. Number 2, Zumi at around 7 to 10. Just of interest, if you look at Zumi, he did run second to Underworld in the penultimate run, and then a different form line, Fairy Knight ran second to Underworld. So they'll be the 2 horses, so perhaps take the Exacta and the 3rd place, number 1, Vision of Wonder. One more race left on the card to bring down the curtain will be race number 8 at 16:50 is the carded off time. The distance 1800 meters, so we'll be stepping up in distance to 1800 meters. And let's take a look at the bidding for race number 8. Let's update the system here. They have number 1 at 4 to 1. So they're betting 4 to 1 the field. Number 3, Jaspero is 9 to 2. Number 4, Greater Fair around 7 to 1. And then you can take 8 to 1 and better the rest of the field. Race number 8, Grant, over 1800 meters. Where are we going to start? Let's start with number 4, Great Affair. Just having a look at the record. Bounced back with a victory last time by a short head, beating the favourite number 1. How do you make these 2 runners on this occasion?
Yeah, I like Great Affair. He's got a chance. I'm not sure the step back in trip is going to help him. He's probably better over a little bit further, but the long straight will help him. It's a difficult kind of a race. This horse like Pear Knight was very unlucky to get beaten by Great Affair last time out over the 2-2, but his best form seems to be on the poly. So you got to be careful there, and he's carrying 60 kilos as well. Jaspero, same story there. Poly horse most of his runs, so he looks like he's a better horse on poly. And then you go to this horse Alado's Pride. He runs on very, very strongly, a very good run to Downing 7 and Great Affair. He'll be running on strongly as well. You drop him out and run on with Raymond up. Very tricky race. This horse Guerra won a very good race last time out. He beat Mohandas, who came out and won. So tricky race. Punters need to go as wide as possible. A horse like Ellis Island needs to go in, there's no doubt. So go wide here. Slight preference to Great Affair. I think he will be a better option on the grass, but punters really need to go wide. We're going light early on, so the field will probably be the right bet at the back for your exotics.
Just a quick comment on number 12, Mingshi, now 6-year-old son of Dynasty, one-time winner after the 25 runs, which means he is pretty limited, but looking at the form, must have a good a say as any with 54 kilograms on the back?
Yeah, he's got to say second run after rest bothers me. I'm not a big fan of that. He needed his last run back after a holiday, and he ran a fairly decent race. He only got beaten 2.6 bottom weight. Yeah, back end of Cortez for me, Sheldon, but anything can win this race. I promise you, every horse that you can make a case for in this race, even a horse like Lord Nelson, absolutely loves the grass. He'll be running on strongly, there's no doubt. And punters just need to go wide. Yeah, it's a terrible race, and it's the last race on the card. You don't want to go out to exotics. Go wide as possible, mate.
Well, there you have it from the resident expert. Go the field, and that's the only way you know that you will definitely not go out. So race number 8, definitely a field race. And now we're going to come to the suggested bets, and I'm going to ask Grant to go through his suggested bets, which we're going to pull up onto the screen now. And you've gone with a win multiple and also a best bet and a value bet, if you want to run through those, Grant.
100% Sheldon. My best bet on the card, race 3, number 7, Unyielding. My value bet, race 5, number 3, Fiery Duke. And my suggested bet, which is a win multiple, goes in race 2, number 5, onto race 3, number 7, and finishing on race 7, number 2, Zumi.
Super duper. Thank you very much, Grant. As normal, you've done the hard work back home. You got your ear on the ground. Thanks very much for everything you do, and hopefully the horses run as they should do.
Thank you very much, Sheldon, and good luck to the punters tomorrow. Goodbye.
Excellent. Thanks very much to Grant Paddock joining us on the line for the meeting on the turf track at Fairview. And all I can say is best of luck. We've got all the information from the expert that side of the woods, and let's see if we can come out on top.